Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hello, hello.
to something a little different for the Men with Widget. This is a video game Let's Play, but not as different as you might expect.
And finally, I have creeped out of the shadows and actually have appeared on the channel for once.
Exciting, I know.
Yeah.
So today we are going to be playing The Duelist of the Roses. It is a PS2 game, PS2 Yu-Gi-Oh game, I should clarify, that takes dueling in a almost board game chess-like manner.
It's not Dungeon Dice Monsters.
It is not Dungeon Dice Monsters, you're correct. But it does have very interesting board game-like mechanics. And I kind of just want to chill out and watch the opening video here, because I think it's pretty awesome, actually. Lackluster ritual. Ritual activated. One thing that I can kind of talk about a little bit here is way back in the day, you and I did a Let's Play of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, correct?
I only showed up for like the last couple episodes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you showed up for like the last half of it. But this is the sequel game to that game, and
Is it really?
this is the sequel to Forbidden Memories.
Thought it was just the next Yu-Gi-Oh game. I didn't know it was actually related.
Yeah, so let's get started here. New game. And the storyline for this game is interesting, to say the least. So, before I get started here with all this, what do you know about this game? Because you mentioned before we started recording here that you didn't know a whole ton about the game. Like, you knew of it, but you've never like seen it.
I just knew it was like not Dungeon Dice Monsters, and Kaiba's wearing like really stupid looking Blue Eyes armor.
Oh, it's gonna get way better than that. So the British Empire in the 1480s, the War of the Roses, a power struggle between the houses of Lancaster, Red Rose, and York, White Rose, to decide a royal successor was nearing an end. With the Yorkists well in the lead, the reign of Richard III, look familiar?
Totally not Haitian.
Was but a step away. And in France,
British Haitian.
Yugi, aka Henry Tudor, the last Lancastrian heir, was being forced to live a life of exile. I love...
What?
I know.
What the fuck?
The Lancastrian forces were rendered powerless by ancient cards of sorcery wielded by Seto and his 7 followers, who are known as the Rose Crusaders, served under the flag of Lord Crawford, a powerful Yorkist nobleman. Lacking a duelist to champion their cause, defeat was imminent for the Lancastrians. In England, duel card games were still at the fledgling state. Thus, the Lancastrians had to look elsewhere for a duel master capable of facing Rosencrews in battle. With this in mind, Margaret Mai Beaufort? Is that how you would say that? Beaufort?
Beaufort.
Yeah. Of Lancaster secretly requested a high druid to summon a duelist from another age.
Is it Simon?
I wonder if it's Simon.
Simon ever appear in the anime, or is he just strictly a game character?
I think he's strictly just a game character. Maybe he shows up.
Yep, it's... Well, he doesn't look like a mummy anymore, so that's cool.
Yeah, he's a little less mummified. Ooh! Summoned from the mystic circle of red and white roses, the one capable of harnessing pure power. There was truth to the legend of the Rose Duelist.
Ah, so that's what Stonehenge was for.
Lady Margaret, I did it. Now we have the means for defeating the evil forces of Rosencrew. Oh, my apologies. In my excitement, I'd forgotten I was in the presence of the Rose Duel. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Simon McMorrin, High Druid and servant of the Lancaster. May I be so bold as to ask the name by which the Rose Duelist would like to be known? So how shall we go about this? We could go with the classic.
Oh, the classic.
Gonad. Gonad, a fine name indeed. Now here's the situation. The year is 1485 and you are currently in Stonehenge near Salisbury, England. The British Empire.
The steak is phenomenal.
The steak is phenomenal. The British Empire is in turmoil, with the House of Lancaster's rightful claim to the throne being challenged by the Yorkist usurpers. The power struggle is referred to as the War of the Roses, a name based on the badges used by both sides, a red rose for the Lancastrians and a white rose for the Yorkists. Right now our kingdom is threatened by the Yorkists and their wrongful claim to the throne, all because the Yorkists enjoy the support of the Rose Crusaders and their sorceress White Rose card. With our red rose cards we summon you, Gonad, to this day and age. We hoped that your dueling experience would defeat the Rose Crusaders and lead us to victory. So, here's the... He summoned us from Forbidden Memories time.
See, my brain he just summoned, like, the winner of, like, a locals. So it's just some kid with a backpack and a beanie and a hoodie.
Yep. If you remember, do you remember at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories when you beat it, it gave you a code? The code's for this game.
Okay, so what does it do?
It unlocks like a special card for you.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
You will help us? Of course you will. Foolish of me to even doubt where your loyalties lie. Rumor has it that only the legendary Rose Duelist stands a chance against the power of Rosencrews. We appreciate any help you can provide against them. Before I forget, I should warn you that the rules to dueling differ here from those of your age. Here in England, dueling is governed by what is known as the perfect rule. In addition, there are several minor distinctions. There are two major differences. One is the existence of movement or positioning. The other is the deck leader concept. These are the two aspects of dueling that were lost in the process when the ancient sport of duel monsters was adopted to card form. The perfect rule represents these lost rules that were miraculously revived here in England. Perhaps a practice duel will serve better than an explanation, shall we? Yeah, let's do the practice duel. It'll give us a good intro to the mechanics here real quick.
Playing by Duchess of Shrewsbury rules.
Yeah, shirts or blouses. We are the Dark Magician.
I like how the art is the Yugi Dark Magician, but the model is the LP Dark Magician.
Yep. So, I'll kind of explain this stuff real quick. So the stars up in the corner, just pointed out, that's our summoning power for the turn. Each turn, I think you get 3 stars. Or maybe it's 5. Yeah, this amount will increase by 3 each turn, and you can get up to 12. That's how you summon shit. So he's gonna have us summon the Celtic Guardian here. I like that it went past the Celtic Guardian. And then what we would do next is pass back to the Blue Eyes player. And our goal is to get closer to them to attack them.
Now, are these the cards we're going to start with, or is this just what we get for the tutorial?
This is just tutorial stuff. We're going to get to choose our deck leader here shortly.
Oh, if I remember correctly, one of the starting options is Patrician of Darkness, right?
I think, yeah, that is one of the potential starters. And then to attack, you just like try to move onto the same square.
So I think we did try to record this at one point.
I've definitely shown you this game in pieces. We may have tried to record it in the past, but like emulation technology wasn't perfect back then.
Yeah. Soundtrack has definitely taken a downgrade from Forbidden Memories.
No, actually the soundtrack's really, really good. It's just this, like this opening part, or this like tutorial duel one's not very good.
Okay, that is the best looking iteration of Komori Dragon I've seen in a like 3D modeled in a game.
Yeah.
Like, it always looks goofy.
I'm just skipping through this because most of this is just kind of explaining rules, but I did want to be able to show you what the duel arena usually looks like, how the mechanics work.
Yeah, you know how to play.
Yeah.
And I can pick up on the way as we go.
Yeah. Also, I did a practice of this yesterday just to make sure everything worked and stuff. And I guess I might have accidentally skipped the tutorial, like most of this tutorial, because I don't remember it being this long last night. Actually, I'll confirm it wasn't this long last night. Because I don't remember any of this part.
Oh, I wonder if we get the uncensored version of Water Almatix that has her tits out.
Titties. Yeah, but you have 4,000 attack, and you can attack them directly by chasing down their deck leader and running into it, essentially. And obviously the goal is to reduce their life points to 0. There's a ton of, like, hidden things about this game, too. Like, there's, like, hidden sections on the map that, like, have hidden cards. There's, like, hidden abilities of creatures and stuff. It's got a lot going on to it, actually. A lot more than Forbidden Memories, for sure.
Interesting. Funny that it took them so long to actually just straight up make a game where we, just play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, because even like the more early, because like they put out that Legacy collection, what early days collection recently, and it has all the original like Game Boy games and stuff, and even like the early Game Boy games weren't just straight up Yu-Gi-Oh either. Like I think the first Game Boy game was more more similar to Forbidden Memories.
Did you hear that they used a find and replace to replace all the instances of magic with spell, and it accidentally got Dark Magician and turned him into Dark Spellion?
Dark Spellion, that's great. I did not hear about that, but
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
They had to patch it after the fact. So the game released that one of the games had Dark Spellion in it. MBT posted a short about it.
Oh, I do remember MBT short. There we go. That's how I skipped this. Okay, we didn't need to see the rest of that. That was a bit superfluous at the end. First, Gonad, you must select a deck to duel with. It's important that you feel the vibrations of a deck leader. The minute resonations that ring true to your soul. The cards themselves draw their power from the energies of the Ancient Ones. The deck leader acts as an intermediate between the Ancient Ones and the deck wielder. It is essential, Gonad. You select a card leader whose rhythm matches the stirrings of your soul.
The cockles of your heart.
So, our 3 starting options. are
Fairy King Truesdale.
Ryul and Twin-Headed Behemoth.
I like how Twin-Headed Behemoth doesn't have an effect.
Yeah, Twin-Headed Behemoth doesn't have an effect, but these two do. I think I'm leading Fairy King Truesdale. The reason why is because it has a little bit lower of a summoning level than Kryul, which will be nice. And I know...
What are their effects?
Let me pull up... Oh, no, it won't.
Oh.
So when they're there,
Are they randomized?
The decks are semi-randomized. They have themes that will come with the deck. That was one of the other reasons that I was gonna pick Fairy King Truesdale, is because I think earlier on there's a lot more field types that I'll have advantages on than with Kryul.
Okay.
When they're your deck master, though, they kind of just act as a figurehead. I don't think they have an effect as your deck master. You can level them up as your deck master, though, to get effects, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Can
any monster be your deck master, or is it like just a few select
I think
cards?
any monster can be the deck master.
Oh, hell yeah. Skull Servant for the win.
It looks like there's some truth to the rumor that the Red Rose card is capable of time transformation. Who's there? Been some time since the Battle of Barnet, old one. Yeah, I love this soundtrack. Listen to this shit.
Better.
Kinda has like a Crystal Tears sort of vibe to it. Rosencruz, what brings you here? Only a member of the Rose Crusaders may call me by that name. You may recall, I told you once before that you may only address me as Seto. Or does memory fail you, old man? So, yes, Seto, if you haven't noticed, a lot of these guys have their actual historical names. But then they're like, no, just call me my Yu-Gi-Oh name.
They've been inhabited by Yu-Gi-Oh characters.
I am Seto, leader of the Rose Crusade.
Also, that shoulder pad with the blue eyes head and the wing, goddamn. Have fun getting through a door, jackass.
Yeah. Not even Stonehenge can fit his ego. What brings you here, Seto? Mind your manners, old man. So here's the really cool part of Duelist of the Roses that I've always really loved. And we're getting through it as I get through all this just exposition. It doesn't matter at this point. I already got all the important stuff. So Seto's seeing here that essentially the goal is either side's trying to get all 16 of the rose cards, right? The 8 red, 8 white. And once all 16 cards are acquired, immense power is to be given to the wielder of the cards, essentially. And being that both sides only have 8 cards, Seto is here to maybe try to be a little bit convincing. We actually get to choose which side of the story we start with. Whether we want to side with the white rose cards or the red rose cards.
Interesting. Also, one thing I've picked up on that's kind of weird is we have the image of them on the screen, the center, for when it's them talking. But we also have the little portrait up in the corner that's animated.
And the animated portrait actually moves its mouth and stuff. Yeah, I know it's very.
That's
odd. It is odd. Yeah. Since you need the 16 rose cards just as much as we do, I propose a partnership. Oh, that's the other thing too. They believe that to send me back to my time, I'm gonna need all 16 rose cards. And Seto is here guaranteeing us that after he gets all 16 rose cards, he will do what he can to send me home. And meanwhile, Simon McMorrin has not actually mentioned any idea about how to get us back to our time.
Interesting. That's 1 point for the Seto team.
And Seto's saying like, well, they were desperate enough to summon you, which means we're winning. So if you side with us, you're siding with the winning side.
Go, Dad.
Heed not the words of this power-hungry lunatic. Must you resort to name-calling? I'm hurt.
I mean, he's wearing Blue Eyes armor. He's clearly unhinged.
So, I know which side I would like to start with based on, like, what's better for story progression and, like, which side's harder and easier to take on first. But I'll let you decide for...
Well, I'm an asshole, so I'm saying let's go Seto.
Okay. Choose the White Rose.
He made a very convincing point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Do you want to side with the Yorkists?
Do it.
Welcome to the Rose Crusaders. I am honored.
Oh, I imagine he's probably going to betray us. His eyes bulging out.
Yep.
No!
Alright, so now we're going to have to invade France and try to capture as many of the Red Rose cards as possible. And the key factor of difficulty is each opponent has a deck cost, and to win their card, you have to be lower deck cost than them. So even if we hacked the game and had all the most powerful cards, we still have to adjust our deck based on our opponent.
Interesting. Also, we're invading France, which back then was not as, like, I don't want to say, like, easy as it sounds.
Yeah. So this is our starting deck.
I assume in keeping with tradition of Yu-Gi-Oh games, it's just all trash.
Not all trash.
We got a witch.
So, each card has a couple different things that it tells you. So it tells you the basic info of it, like its deck cost, its current rank based on like deck leader information, summoning level, all that stuff. Its special info, this is when it's a card on the field, what it can do. What cards can power it up. So it actually tells you what equip cards you can equip to the cards without having to test it now, which is really nice. And then this is where the leader abilities will show up as we unlock them.
I see.
So right now, I'm
gonna take a wild guess and say witch is nowhere near as awesome as she is in the actual game.
Yeah, this one, Witch's effect is while it's in face up, in defense, all light monsters lose 100 attack.
So we can hit triangle and just see the model. That's kind of cool.
Hey, you want to see Witch?
Awesome. I imagine the models are markedly better than they were in Forbidden Memories. Well, we've already seen a nice example of that. Petite Angel.
I'm just looking for any effects we may have.
A lot of bugs.
Yeah. Koragashi.
Alan's section? What the hell is Alan's section? That's new to me.
What?
Thing above Koragashi.
Oh, alien. Alin section.
Let me see the card. Oh, it's that thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember that being called that.
Yeah, neither do I. Cat.
I think it was called Blade Insect. Ew.
Yeah, a ton of bugs, ton of bad cards, but we'll get improvements as we go. So we got a forest, rain of mercy, insect armor with laser cannon, vile germs, and an acid trap hole. Sick.
The only thing close to being a good card in here is Witch of the Black Forest.
And even then, it.
Well, I mean, like in actual Yu-Gi-Oh terms.
All right, so you ready to take on our first fight?
Yeah, I like the Ocean of Piss.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch for the map.
All right, so let's take on Taya. The Rose Duelist. You dared to betray the hopes of Prince Yugi? I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget. So, I actually was prepared for going the other direction first, so this is going to be interesting. All right, so here we are.
Okay, I like the fat beat.
Yep, this is our battlefield. So it's like a 7x7, kind of like a chessboard. And each of these squares has like a different power up. So normals do nothing, but like this is a mountain, this is a meadow, and that'll affect what happens, you know. So we're gonna move forward here.
I see.
And let's see what we got in here.
Boogs.
Reduces all monsters located in vertical and horizontal spaces by 300 when destroyed in battle. Yeah, we're just gonna lead off with this guy.
Alrighty.
And then we'll move him forward, and then pass turn.
I'm assuming face down means our opponent can't see.
Alright, so... Oop. Forget that it's D-pad to move.
Oh yeah, I'm digging the soundtrack so far. It's not as like hype as Forbidden Memories soundtrack, but it's still pretty good.
I think we're just gonna keep kind of chasing down their leader here.
I imagine this was confusing to a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players back in the day. It was like buying it, expecting a Yu-Gi-Oh game, and they got this.
Yeah, and then this is what pops up. So we're gonna fuse these two together because you can. Oh, Vile Germs doesn't work on that. Well, now I know.
Because nope. Never mind.
Right.
So what does Vile Germs do while it's on the field now?
I think it's still an equip spell, and I can run it into something to power it up.
I see.
Oh, and so there's type bonuses on fields. But one of the things is if, let's say this was entire field boosted insects, I could flip Korogashi up and then move 2 squares on the forest bases. So it really does matter like what you're... Oh, that's plants.
I assume they took away the star system.
Yeah, the star system's no longer here. There we go, that one. Yeah, we'll see what this is. It's just heads. Oh, it's much stronger than me.
It's just oh god.
Oh, and by default, the battles are turned on. I'll turn them off at some point, but for a little while here, I just wanted to show off the battles.
Oh, we don't have like a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh where we can, in Yu-Gi-Oh, in Forbidden Memories where we can just activate them whenever we want.
I mean, it's just a setting. I'll show you what I mean. Like, I can turn them off and on whenever I want.
Okay, so we can actively toggle them in a battle, you mean? Okay. So we can just turn it off when we don't want to see it. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, that decreased me, too. Damn. I'm stronger, though. Yeah, so, like, all I had to do is hit L1, and then I could put it to abbreviate.
I see. Gotcha. So when we actually want to see a battle, we can turn it back on.
Like I said, I'm gonna leave it on for like probably this episode, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right, so you're weaker, so let's blow this fucking hourglass up with our white rose or blue rose or whatever. Ooh. This tentacle bitch slap them. Just bam, bam. Sit down. And yeah, and as you said, the models are a little bit better here.
It's funny because you could tell in Forbidden Memories they just did not give a fuck about some of the lesser monsters.
Oh my god!
When they made the models,
D-pad.
They put a lot more effort in like Dark Magician and Blue Eyes than they did like Karibo.
Yes.
This almost sounds like a remix of the library theme from Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. A lot of the music has a very like Renaissance Baroque era, like, because I mean it fits the 1480s theme, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move in on their position. What do you power up insects? Okay, so I need another insect. We'll do these two.
That's who normally gets that equip in the show anyway.
Yep.
That'd be weird if it didn't work.
The equips are being far more like obvious is really nice, and actually telling you what works and what doesn't work.
Oh, she is an Air Knight.
Yeah.
Or she.
I think this is Tea's strongest card. I was looking at a guide the other day, and it like lays out what the opponent's decks are, and I think this is Tea's strongest card. Got a sick attack. Sword split open.
I was gonna say, Air Knight Parsoth is a card I was not expecting to see right away.
Yep, we get the smackdown. We do win this fight with our exact same monsters last time.
Winged Egg of New Life.
Yeah, see, it's a little eggy buddy. That's what life is like. That is exactly what happened when your child was born.
An egg shot lasers. What? Damn.
Cracked that egg.
Okay.
Damn.
That was actually a really dynamic attack for like a nothing monster.
Yeah, a nothing monster with a reused
model. Yeah.
So one of the ways you can win is if they can't move or play cards. That'll also work. So if I
This is.
I was just gonna say, if I can back him into the corner, that will get a win as well. That's scary.
Yeah. This is truly Yu-Gi-Oh! As Kazuki Takahashi intended. God rest his soul.
Yeah, he was a hero, alright. Ooh, a new background. Oh, look at the little crown.
He throws it like Sailor Moon. That's funny.
But unfortunately, we are just a big-ass insect.
It sucks that it actually doesn't show like the Like, I understand why it doesn't, but it sucks that it doesn't show the insect cannon on its back.
Ah, yeah, that'd be super cool if the equips.
They have to find a way to make it equipped to every model.
Yeah.
This really does sound like a remix of the library theme. So how does, like, defense mode work?
So you can, they can't move when they're in defense, but, like, if I wanted to switch basic insect to defense, I could just do this.
Okay.
We've already seen both of these, so I'm just... Deed Angel's special effect is it summons itself in a valid area when it dies. I think we win here, though. Because now we just go like that.
Smack. Eat poop.
And we win. So here's the other cool part. Well, our drop system.
Okay.
So I can get any card that was sent to the graveyard by our opponent. So, like, Taya didn't really send anything strong to the graveyard. So we are probably going to just try to line up false traps here, see if we can get something cool.
So if we line up false traps, we get a random card?
If you line up three of the same card, you get, like, a special card. Oh, I just missed it. But the problem is if you line up two of the same card, you only get one copy.
I love, like, the dude on false trap just...
False. I guess I lost. It pains me to know that I lack the strength to protect my lord and love. Alright, we have acquired our first red rose card.
Onward, further into France.
Well, we're still in England at the moment, but we'll eventually get to France. Alright,
Oh, right, yeah.
I think right now is the perfect time to call episode 1. We got a battle in.
37 minutes.
We got a battle in. We're at like 38 minutes. So,
all right, sounds good.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping in and watching us and hanging out.
Thank you.
Peace out, everybody.